run. I think that would be a good workout regimen. I need to get my thighs tightened up, my lower back fat. You know what I'm saying? Try not to wear tight clothes. That helps. That makes fat store in the wrong areas. A lot of my fat store in my upper thighs and my hips and shit. And what I have to do is I don't have to really watch what I eat, but I just have to do intense exercises and make sure I'm stretching and shit. You know what I'm saying? I have to watch my posture and shit. And that's what I'm saying with this pig Latin shit. Having you know, it's okay to reject people for being ugly. It's okay to reject people for being too pretty. Whatever the fuck it is, you reject people. There have been people, women in my life that I've been around that I've rejected for being unattractive, for being and shit like that, and it rings in my head. There's nothing. You just have to accept your toxicity for what it is. So, like, I've been around a girl that was trying to tell me that she thought... I've been around women that really thought they were more feminine than me because they had softer voices, and I'm like, but you haven't been exposed to the level of hardships that I've been exposed to. You know what I'm saying? You haven't been around... I've been around masculinistic men, you know what I'm saying, that get drunk, and then it's increasing their level of their voice being, you know what I'm saying? So, in actuality... I was saying I'm rejecting men, the men around me, because they're not being themselves. You know, so a pure person is a pure person. You know what I'm saying? Certain people don't sound the same when they get drunk. You know what I'm saying? I internalize things, and I can tell. I like people like Lil Boosie and shit like that, and certain people I listen to with what they call accents and shit. They're detoxes for me. That's why I find myself talking like them. You know what I'm saying? Lil Boosie is not a detox for me. Some of his songs, like there's some imperfection. He was probably in a good space then. That sounds like a very happy aura song. So, you know, but a lot of the songs are sad and sadly driven, and the only reason why, you know, I think his career is based off just everyday life. You know what I'm saying? I helped put together some of those songs, conceptualize. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I conceptualized people, relationships and shit, and I was like, you know, this is what it sounds like. I have a very deep mind, so I'm like, at the end of the day, you know, there are a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that are rejecting me for whatever reason, and ringing my head, I was not receptive of their personalities, and I'm like, the reason why I wasn't receptive of their personalities is because they weren't intellectual enough to understand. Like I said, I may do something on purpose to make people reject me. You know what I'm saying? Not with the intentions to kill, but I've helped a lot of people get money, and they need to understand that I helped you get money. I don't want nothing from you. You see what I'm saying? And what, like I said, with this Rob Mason guy, I created a formula for him to be competent with me. It's a detox for me. I want him to feel as though, you know what I'm saying, I can tell that certain people I've been around feel inferior to me because it's a detox for me. It pulls off negative energy, and I'm like, that's fucked up, you know. And that's how I know that I'm a real butcher, because I've been around men that pretty much feel inferior to me or whatever, and I really had a classified personality. They were a predictable person, and I'm like, damn, I really want more for you. Same thing with some of my cousins and shit. I'm like, y'all mine's too simple. You're not gonna be able to get away with shit. You're not gonna be a good criminal because you're too dumb. So, yeah, because I've done things out here and I ain't never did no jail time. I probably did like 8 months in the system, and most of it I did in the outdoor therapeutic program. And I'm trying to tell them that they sitting here doing all this shit over and over again looking for love. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But like I said, I've got everybody, this South Carolina, a lot of people out here speak pig Latin, so a lot of the people that I work with in my job and stuff, they're toxic for me. They got retarded faces and shit, and it's kind of hard not to think about them. But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was looking at some of my childhood pictures, and I'm like, I've internalized. I read facial presences and stuff. I am a sensitive natured person, and I don't think nothing wrong with that, because that's how I know that I may sympathize with them, and maybe perhaps I am a detox for them, and that's all that matters. And like, you know, they complain about stupid shit, but I'm like, I've been cleaning buildings my whole life. The most important thing to do with anything is cleaning. That's why we got all these viruses and stuff getting out of hand, because people don't know how to clean up. Not saying do it perfectly, but I'm saying to a certain degree that we can stop having all these goddamn outbreaks and outrages and shit with fucking COVID-19 and shit. Okay, because it's a formula that stirs up fucking pessimism. A lot of people would not be as sick if they were more optimistic. So I just feel like we just need to think as a society on a psychological level. Let's not create a spirit of pessimism when we go through things. So, but yeah, a lot of women, like I've said, I've been around women that are from other countries that said they felt like I had a masculine voice. There are women that you can go, there are women that you can find that have soft voices. They come from places where they don't have all this technology. They sitting around eating, I don't know, fucking figs out of trees. I don't know, whatever the fuck they doing, and they haven't had their womanhood attacked to the point where they're completely comfortable. Okay, I've rejected manhood from being a feminist from the get-go, so that's why I figured maybe I do seemingly put a bit of bass in my voice. I can't sound as feminine as I want to, and that's why I feel like I'm a butch, so I can find a woman with a more softer voice that will have an intellectual understanding on me. And I'm like, it's fucked up because, I find them and I actually, my voice, projects onto them, then they will have a deeper voice. But as a reverse psychological detox, that may be a detox for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, a real nigga understand, like, yo, I don't know how these men work, but some women do take pride in their femininity to the point where perhaps they don't take offense to a man rubbing off on them. But when you have a deep mind, when you're a butch, you have to think about shit like that. I want to be around a woman that I can't rub off on, and that's naturally a feminine person. So, in fact, I think for a reverse psychological detox, I would need to be with a feminist. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of women, you know what I'm saying, just thinking about me, deep voices, my own voice is toxic for me. It's not that deep, but just simply because I met a woman that told me that shit. So, so I need a woman's approval. That's the point of being a fucking lesbian. But that's what I'm saying. I can, there are things you can do there, you know what I'm saying, as far as staying stress free. I have a lot of anxiety because of people that have deep voices. And you know what I'm saying, like, I think that's taking estrogen is a form of solving that problem. You know what I'm saying? As I was like, I wouldn't mind taking testosterone, but and all that shit. But you have to. I think you need to, take into consideration. I see JC on his Instagram with pictures of a girl and shit. And I'm like, perhaps, she's, feminine enough to detox him, and hopefully she is. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. So I grew up around a lot of simple-minded women, and I'm like, they just like men, and I'm like, listen, this shit is creating anxiety in me, and at the end of the day, I need to be with a woman that has a very soft-spoken voice, because I have this butch mentality pretty much forced on me. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up, I don't care, like, about kind of like how I look and shit. I just pretty much wanted to be a boy. And so at the end of the day, these people that I grew up around, like I said, I grew up around a lot of retarded looking people. A lot of my family members, I didn't know who these people were. There was a Lily. I don't know who these people were, but I watched documentaries. I had my Aunt Fambro. A lot of those people were, I guess, thugs and shit. I don't care about none of that. I'm an intellect. I'm trying to get outside of the rims of all that shit. Because as a man, as a transitional man without the transition, I don't give a fuck about all that. I just want to stay alive and be free. Shout out to Fox and Million. That's one of my favorite songs. The actual instrumental to that song is very detoxing for me. So a lot of, you know what I'm saying, I've analyzed Geechee people's conversations, and some of those songs that are very upbeat and very detoxing for me. And I sat there and told them people, I've told you, I've been around conformists that say a woman can't relate to the struggle of a man. They have been so toxic for me. You know what I'm saying? Those people don't have deep minds. If I transition, I'm not gonna be around my uncles and cousins and shit. They ain't nobody special to me. Seriously. All those people I was sitting there planning on the downfall of my family, and it's like I can't converse with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you ever seen that show the brothers and shit like that? It will be like that. I don't fuck with these people. We don't fuck with each other. I grew up around my cousin. We got the same mindset. It's just shit that agitate us, and when we agitate it, we're gonna walk off and get the fuck on, or we're gonna go off in your shit. Period. So that's how it works. But anyway, I don't know what kind of subject matter I had going on, but this video on 37 minutes and 22 seconds. I've been having a good day. I've been going back and forth at my old house, getting my stuff, and I like this apartment. It looks very decent. It's the same. Got marble counters and cabinet wood and shit, and pretty much a little outside deck. It's a 2-bedroom, pretty decent. My little sister bought some dishes all pink and whatnot. It's a bit agitating. I'm one of those people. I'm trying to try the same shit. I want like some shit with some damn ocean feel type vibe, ocean blue pictures. We need to paint like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to find some exotic shit to order on offline. Anybody knows some shit? Let me know. Pictures of like the ocean and fucking Nemo and shit and flounder and shit type shit like that. Like, that's the type of shit I'm on. I want a goddamn aquarium in the wall type shit. But that's you can get shit like that, but the simple life will matter. I'm like, when you really come from growing up struggling and shit, and growing up in the ghetto, you appreciate, or actually just going through stuff, period. You ain't got to come up in the ghetto. You actually appreciate the simple things in life. I appreciate these marble counters and stuff like this. It's very detoxing. It has that island vibe type sense. You know what I'm saying? Little lights hanging down and shit. This shit fire. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people I grow up around, I'm like, they appreciate their life too. But I'm like, I don't care. Like, that's not my life. I don't care about your family and all that shit and all that. As long as y'all happy, cool. I'm trying to do me. I'm a loner. I've always been like that. And a lot of people have been toxic for me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people breaking in my house and shit. A lot of these people, they loyal to they niggas and shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? I am not receptive of a dominatrix woman. I've been sexually abused, so that's not the type of woman I need to be with. Women are something else. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those people. No, I don't want to be dominated by a woman because of viewing myself as an abuse victim. Okay? I need to be around a very patient woman. A lot of women are like that. And I'm like, to me, that's a form of a defense mechanism when you don't like being controlled by a man. A lot of women that are heterosexual do want to control a man sexually. And, like, as a feminist, I would say I've analyzed and I've sexualized women in my mind, and I've kind of lost my sexual libido from that. You know what I'm saying? Being that I don't have an actual penis, but you know what I'm saying? You get the point. Me wanting to sexualize a woman, I kind of don't have a sexual libido because of, you know what I'm saying, really wanting, you know what I'm saying, to have that, to give women that type of satisfaction. A lot of women I grew up around, they were just dumb, and it's a lot dealing with heterosexuality. A lot of people just really got the wrong perception about me. And also, I've been around submissive women that have boyfriends and shit. That's what they listen to, so they ain't gonna listen to me. So I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much analyze all the men malehood in my life, and they want to have a discussion with me. But y'all check out T.I. Expeditiously and shit like that. One thing I do respect about Tip is that, you know what I'm saying, he is more than just a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I wrote that song Hotel just listening to his lifestyle and shit, and that nigga is way much more. I don't know him on a personal level, but I've been around him personally. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can say is he's a father, and at the end of the day, he got work he need to do. You know what I'm saying? He was born into the realms of certain ways of being. His manhood was given to him in a certain way, but I have never really hanged with him, but I'm pretty sure he's just a man. You know what I'm saying? I have to respect him based off the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I compared myself to him. So, you know what I'm saying, I can't judge nobody for shit they do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, whether they respect me or not, you don't owe me shit. When I was doing all them songs and shit, I'm like, listen, you got a family to take care of, and that's all that matters. I don't need you to worry about me. As long as I'm still alive, that's all that matters. So, anyway, You know, for all y'all goddamn, y'all ever heard of it's a rapper named Poe Pimp. You know what I'm saying? Most of us think we're nobodies, but we somebody, especially with all this internet and shit these days, man. It's a lot of pimps and shit out here, man. Y'all, once we get rid of that dynamic and just live innocently, that's why I was trying to tell a lot of people, you know, you can come from these islands. A lot of them people, this is the United States. A lot of us don't have innocent minds, and that's the point I'm trying to make. You know what I'm saying? We need more kids to grow up and not get their innocence taken away, and the world to be a better place. So, yeah, shout out to Jason Young, the FTM. I've been watching certain other people, but I actually am familiar with that person in particular. And just living life and trying to, you know, looks like he's doing really good. And it just an inspiration for if I do, you know, want to transition and figure out a way to create a better way of life. Is people, his page is very detox for me, because I come from very closed-minded people. You know what I'm saying? I grew up like I had some weights in my house. Somebody took that away from me. I'm like, I can't get in shape. I'm like, it's not about that. It's about feeling comfortable. You see what I'm saying? I'm not finna sit here and stress. If I stress, I'm not gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. But like I said, I grew up around a lot of people that really just they're pessimists too, and you know what I'm saying, there are things I have to stay away from, curse words and all that shit, and I'm like, their opinion doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Being an FTM is all about what you want to do. A lot of my family members are dumb and stereotypical and very predictable, and there's nothing that they can tell me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that they can sell me.